Aghor, or Avadhoot sect. Aghor, or Avadhoot. Both the aforesaid words are synonymous in Yajurveda. Bayete Rudra Shivat Nor Gosh Pap Kishan. The body of Shiva itself has been defined as Aghor, or Somaya. Out of 5 facts of Lord Shiva, one is Aghor. It is proved from the Linga Puran. In Upanishads, Rudra and Shiva Gayatri are the importance of wearing various attires has been expressed. Aghora na pero mantro. This is the word of the hymn describing the greatness of Lord Shiva, worshipped by Sri Sri Pushtampantiji Maharaj. It has been continuing from time immemorial. There are 4 Varnas, that is Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Sudra. Of the 4 ashrams, namely Brahmacharya, Grahastra, Pranapastra, and Sannyas, these have been established in the Veda Shastras, Puranas, and all the holy books. The state of attainment in a sannyas ashram is called Vaishnav Paramahimsa, Shakti, Kaibalya, and Shaiva, Aghor. Of these are not paths, rather they are the names of the position when one gets Brahman knowledge about the Brahmana. Fully, and he does not discriminate between good, bad, or moderate things. He looks everything alike. It is called absolute knowledge. It is only when one attains absolute knowledge he possesses the quality of an Avadhoot. One achieves this state of mind from the virtues acquired for a long time. It does not mean that Aghori are Shiva, because broadly it is regarded that Shiva darshan only is the basis of Aghora. Many learned men acting on this quarry deeply and examining the same have came to the conclusion that Shiva and Shakti are inseparable. The great poet Kalidasa, in the first shloka of the book Raghu Bansha, it is said, consider Parvati and Paramahimsa interconnected like Gopal and money, which cannot be contemplatedly separated, which is a single shape. It cannot be considered akin to said Shiva Shakti, depicted as Ardhan and Kara, wherein half is depicted a male Shiva, and the other half is a female, Parvati. He is fully evident in a way that no distinction whatsoever can be made. For this the learned men are of opinion that one can realize clearly the path of Aghor only after understanding the Tantra, or philosophy of Shiva and Shakti. Dharma Samrat Brahmalin Sri Karpatranji Maharaj has explained this unformality of Shiva Shakti in his own words. As in the ocean of pleasure, gracefulness is its identity. Likewise, Parvati is the identity of our soul. There is no pleasure without gracefulness, and there is no gracefulness without pleasure. Not only that, Vaishnava and Shaiva does not discriminate anyone as Aghora. Lord Sri Krishna says the very same thing which Sri Vishnu Bhagavanji, he himself has said to the Satya Sangha in the 25th chapter of the Jagvam Bhairav, part of the Supa Sanghita and Skandra Puranan. I cannot give salvation to the persons engrossed in the worldly affairs from the world. The human being who utters the hymn for me, Mahadev, he cannot achieve salvation at all from this world. Even he is reborn a number of times, because it is only the Lord Mahadev who can give salvation. In the Vedas and eternal scriptures, the provisions of meditation, worship, adoring, praise, etc., of these are Paramahimsa, God, which are available only of these mentions clearly about the single God specified in different names, omniscient, Shiva, Vishnu, etc. Sri Ramsukadas says, that is to say, the nature of both Hari and Ahara is alike. However, both looks different depending on the subject. Some persons having no knowledge consider Hari and Ahar different, which is the weapons of destruction. The nature of both Hari and Ahara are alike. That is to say, both are formed from Ka, Dhatu, but because in the difference of the suffix I and A, both looks difference. Some unwise person states that Hari and Hara are different, which is contrary to the scripture. Hence one should not make any difference at any time between Shiva and Vishnu. Let us see what Srimad Bhagavat indicates about the same transcending all difference. Srimad Bhagavat 4, 7, 50, 52, 54. I belong to three-world Vishnu, Brahma and Shiva, Maheshwar, and Purnamaswar, Sarva. In spite of being a special nature, we souls are God and our sees everything. I, being engrossed in my holy self, carry on creative, protective, and destructive activities, and assume different identity, Brahma, Vishnu, Rudra, according to my activity in this unparalleled holy self of Brahman. Vishnu and Rudra, all these three becomes one of nature, and became one self in all human beings. Human being, one who does not discriminate amongst them, can bring peace. In these words, the great mystery of Avadhoot, the thought, has been detailed. Aghor does not make any discrimination among Shiva, Shakti, or Vaishnav. It is the middle path of all. Thus, with the passage of time, as the when different philosophies, different opinions, path, religion, community went on unfolding, the persons holding the said post is designated in different words, depending on the difference of religion or community, place, and language, such as Aghor, Avadhoot, Paramahimsa, Kapalika, Sankalya, Awilya, Balang, etc. With this, Agoracharya Baba Kinaramji Maharaj set up 4 Vaishnava citadels and 4 Aghori, which are existing still today. Aghor is the path of love. It is the way path of bhakti, devotion. It is neither one's own nor that of others. The wise men have divided bhakti, devotion, also in 3 ways: sattvic, which is piety; tamasi, worldly pleasure; and rajasic, is passionate. But Aghor is the path of parabhakti, utter devotion, transcending all of these 3. It is the path of those who believe in being engrossed purely in the love of God. Because of this, it is said to be beyond all rules and restrictions, because prem, love, originates from within. It does not have any place of any discrimination, high and low. In the Puranas, while praising Avadhoot, thought it said that when the son of Srimak Rishi cursed Raja Parikshit, that one who had put snake around the neck of his father be bitten by the snake. After 7 days from that day, hearing this great curse, there was a great city of distress all around in the country. All the Debarishis and Rajarishis gathered there, and they were contemplating as to what Raja Parikshit would do in order to get rid of the curse or to get escaped. In the meantime, Sri Sukadev Maharaj, using the apparel of an Avadhoot from the very boyhood, appeared there. As soon as he came, all the persons of that community stood up. It was the importance of the said apparel. All jointly adored him and prayed for giving prescriptions for making the king free from the curse. Because of the time also was for 7 days, Sri Sukadev Maharaj prescribed very simple and easy, short time measures by practicing which King Parikshit got rid of the curse and achieved salvation within this short time. King Parikshit had earned virtues over the cycles of rebirth, and his life also had got virtue. Hence he attained that state very soon. This measure of achieving this state is a very simple, easy manner, and within a short time is called Avadhoot, thought, or Agorapant, etc. Now naturally the question arises that which practical procedure or school of thought or path is. How naturally the question arises that which practical procedure or school of thought or the path or what path this is. It is the way of the life of the path which evolves automatically and naturally in every being from the very beginning, which governs gradually the entire creation. It develops automatically, goes on evolving in comfortedly, and earlier instinct. It is absolutely pure. It treats everything alike. It does not discriminate. It does not require any kind of training or rules or regulation. What is that? It is love.
It is called prem. A child loves his mother, and this prem gradually in course of time takes its own course automatically. If our earlier power transmitted through rebirth is absolutely pure, then the said being starts to be absorbed in memory of the said great Paramahimsa, the Shakti, Jagadamba, and Jagadambe. He, being deeply engrossed, remains absorbed in himself, in the gracefulness of the sweetness of Parampita. He talks with him, interacts with him pleasantly, and being glad he sings, dances, and weeps. This has been defined as bhakti, which is devotion, and a great devotion at that. Apart from the soul, or atma, nothing else is there. Guru, the preceptor, became a facilitator in achieving this by providing indication and induction, which widens the way for marching ahead. He protects from the enhancing effect of illusion. He protects the disciple from the obstruction, temptation, etc. Coming in the way of God is the same manner of a mother who protects his child. Let us see this in the words of the saints. A servant, a saint of the Champaran, has said about 10 steps for this knowledge attained by devotion. Shraddha, respect. Satsang, good association. Bhajan, chanting. Vairag, aversion towards wealth. Nishchaya ruchi, sincerity or interest. Bayan, meditation. Rishikata, being engrossed in the holy name. Vabna, thought. Fulfillment of love and vision of God. A saint following the Aghor path fully while eulogizing the gracefulness of love has stated the path of love as the highest path, which only the persons can negotiate, who is enriched with meditation, who has driven out the maladies of illusion, anger from his mind, who does not long for life, and who is afraid of death, who realizing the uselessness of knowledge of Scripture, has considered thinking, duty, and good association more important than the same, and who has got experience of trading the path of love as per the instruction of the proper Guru, and who has got the vision of discern darkness and light, for this of love is strong. Discrimination is required, because the worldly wanders, in order to allure him, wants to mislead him from all sides. However, when he destroys all these barriers with the weapon of knowledge and consciousness, then he succeeds in his meditation. Chanting of the name is extremely necessary for making this godly of love firm and lasting. It is the opinion of Maharaj Sri Kinaramji, as he continues chanting the name of Ram, Guru mantra or any mantra of one's own choice, the human instinct remains controlled, and the habit of being absorbed or engrossed increases. Atma Ram and Satsang, chanting of Guru mantra, good association, are called the best of all meditation. Sri Kinaramji advises to his devotees to culture Atman Ram, that is the chanting of the name, wherein not a single penny is required. On the other hand, there is only profit. Saint Vakaram, also by calling this worldly affairs to be useless, has said that in the temporary world, the name, chanting of the holy name, is only protector. The devotee Hanif, by chanting the name of everyone, starting from Nard, Bushpan, has said that all of them have crossed the hurdle with the grace of the name. Mere keeping locks, curving olki, and wearing apparel would lead to nowhere, until and unless the trace of Atmaram is found. That is to say, love is earnestness, and engrossing and chanting the name is badly required. It is said that there are 2 types of chanting of the name. One chanting of the name loudly, and the other is silent chanting. Sri Ram Tahal Das, regarding AJPA, is silent chanting of the name, said, silent chanting is unique. Silent chanting is unique one way. Who takes the course of silent chanting achieves success. By the grace of Guru, silent chanting enriches the saint in a unique way. Sri Kinaramji Maharaj, after detailed consideration and contemplation on silent chanting, has described For this japa, which he has described an easy expression and said, because of silent chanting, one gets rid of carnal desire and anger, and one gets salvation. In the aforesaid discussions, two such words have come up, which may give rise to confusion among the person holding the earlier idea. Effectiveness of scriptural knowledge, and the second is gyan. Hence, brief clarification of this required is ineffectiveness of scriptural knowledge.